Welcome to episode 6 of YOUx2, where we're on this adventure discovering the two of us that are living this human experience, this human character that we're playing here on the physical plane, and then the powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being that's the actor behind this character. Now, we've been covering in the last episodes just how we can connect more to the higher realms, to our higher selves. And in the last episode, I did cover this meditation that you can do on a daily basis to help change that habit of focusing on the chaotic, fear-based world and all those shadow emotions, and changing that habit to where we can focus on the beautiful higher vibration, love vibration of the higher realms. And in the episode today, we're going to look at other ways that we can ignite that connection to the spirit realm. In a way, we can use our 5 human senses to activate our spiritual 6th sense. And I know you can't always control what's going on around you, so when you can, take advantage of those opportunities, because what you focus on is what grows. We'll start off talking about our hearing and our ears, of course. So what we listen to, of course, influences us, because there's these triggers either triggering us toward fear or triggering us towards unconditional love, right? So if we kind of take inventory of what we're allowing into our ears, is it the news? Oh my gosh. Or, is it what type of music are we listening to? What are the lyrics? What are we focusing on? Those things are what is going to grow, like I mentioned. So one of the things that we can do to help us connect to that higher place is to choose that music, choose those lyrics, choose those noises, whether it's singing bowls or, songs that touch your heart, that activate and take you to another place, take you to that higher place. I was thinking I was going to put like all these links down below of, this is the music that touches me, but the music that touches your heart, that takes you to a higher place. And if you want to share in the comments below any of those, I might end up doing that anyway, because if you're like, I don't know, I don't have any music that does that, at least if everyone shares some in the comments below, maybe some links to YouTube videos that have songs that have meant something to you, then, see and kind of peruse those and see if any of those do that. Now, I'm not talking about the ones that like make you cry and sob in pain because it's a song about breaking up. Those are important too, because we come here to experience all of our emotions. So I'm not saying by no means, stop watching news altogether, don't do any of this, don't do any of that. We come here to experience all of that. And it's important to feel all the feels, all the emotions, even all those, fear-based emotions that bubble up when we listen to all that other stuff. But we're talking about what we can do to help connect to that higher place. And so that's what I'm talking specifically about today. So when we pay attention to that and we purposely listen to that music throughout the day or certain times in our life, you'll know, at least, like I have a playlist called Bliss and one called Inner Chamber, and I know these different ones. One brings me to this place of peace, another one brings me into this very sacred place within me with the connection to the Creator. And you just have all these different playlists that you can have that will take you to different places on purpose, for a purpose, and that is within our power. Like I said, we can't always control what's going on around us, what we're hearing, but when we can, it can be very powerful. And next we go into the eyes. So like hearing, whatever we allow to come into these eyeballs comes in, and it's like going to trigger us just like sounds do. So again, are we reading the news? Are we reading social media that is all about negativity and blah, 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 blah? Like Facebook, I know A lot of people are like, I'm getting off of Facebook. And I go, I understand, if I didn't have my purpose for being on Facebook is to share, uplifting connection things, for the spiritual realm. And I don't follow a whole lot of people. I'm friends with a lot of people, but I'm very specific about what I allow on my newsfeed. And it doesn't mean that I don't go check on other people and see how they're doing. But my regular input, the regular food that I'm feeding my eyes, is uplifting things of love and joy and peace and laughter, the things that are of my natural state. And that helps keep me in this more higher connection more of the time. But I definitely go click on those YouTube videos that get that fear riled up within me. I'm like, what's going on in the world? Oh, fear, fear, fear. And then I'm like, okay, I'm done with those fear rides. I've thrown up all of my dinner because I went on this roller coaster ride, not literally, but, figuratively. And I'm like, I'm ready for some peace and quiet now, and we can control that. So the other thing that I have for my eyeballs is I would have reminders pop up on my phone. And I'd purposely set like an alarm that said like breathe or come back to the moment or remember love. All those things, whatever I wanted to focus on, I would have my phone vibrate, at work, and it was like every hour, and I would hear it vibrate and look at it and go, oh yeah, come back to this moment, come back to peace, come back to love. Okay, and then off I went and got pulled for the other 55 minutes until the alarm went off again. But the thing is, it's habit forming. When your mind starts remembering every hour, not throughout the night, of course, but, from my waking moments, reminding me to come back, to come back, to come back, then that also becomes our habit, or can become our habit. So what we feed our ears, what we feed our eyes. And then we go into the nose. And I know it's like, well, what's going to get into your nose? And of course, smells also trigger memories. They also trigger emotions. I mean, I got into essential oils, and oh my gosh, there's some essential oils you smell and you're like, what is this? In one moment, and then the next I smell it and it smells good. So your body knows what scent it wants to smell and things that trigger it. So they also can change based on the day. But when you focus on what you are inhaling in your nose, what you're smelling, those things. I know for me, like incense, there's some like Nakshampa. When I smell certain, there's different scents within that too, but when you have certain incense that you smell and you're just like, psh, I almost felt like I'd gone away and was in Tibet in this, mountain temple, and whether it's a past life or it just did something to me, it took me somewhere else, and it took you to this higher place. And so those smells also can bring you calm, can also do other things. And so realizing, again, you can't always be in control of what you're smelling around you, but if you can, when you can, do it, and do it with purpose and do it with intention as well. And then you get to taste, and you're like, oh my gosh, well, like your nose, there's some tastes of some things that trigger things within you. I know whenever I drink green tea, I think of my dad's grandmother. Sweet, sweet, sweet lady. I knew her for a couple years when I was very young before she passed. But I remember she'd give me these there were little ho-hos back then, the little chocolate with cream in it, and they'd keep in the refrigerator. And she'd be like, go ahead, you can have one. And I would be like, oh, it was so good. And it just brings that feeling of love when I drink that green tea. And if I smell that, or if I smell like certain coffees, all these different scents of stuff. For some people, it's cigars, because like a grandfather or a father smokes cigars and it reminds them of them. Sometimes even spirit will bring an odor around and you're like, there's no smoke around here. Why am I smelling cigars? And it's because they're touching that memory of that smell for you to remember them too. So that's a little side note, but sometimes we do that. So with taste, you can do the same thing, right? Different tastes bring different emotions for you. We also can emotionally eat, right? I know I've done that before too. I have to be very careful. Like, I can't keep sweets in my house for very long, no matter my intentions. And you just have to admit it, I'm like, yep, I know I'm going to buy this and I'm going to eat the whole thing in 2 days. And I'm okay with that. But I balance and I don't buy it again for a couple weeks. But I have written down here, because I wanted to make sure around taste, that you can also make eating a ritual. Especially, I'm trying to eat more vegetarian. I still eat, some animal meat right now anyway. And so when I eat of any animal meat, I just give gratitude for whatever I'm eating and give thanks. That's what a lot of giving thanks is for, is make it a ritual, make it this intentional connection to the higher realm, to the spiritual realm, just thanking the Creator for, your abundance. You provide my every need, and thank you for bringing this, for me. And you can make that a ritual. You can make that something that helps you connect to the spiritual realm as well. So like that we say, giving grace, but it's not the, praise the Lord and pass the sauce. Again, it's all about making it intentional and full of emotion, connecting with love to the Creator, to the spiritual realm. And then lastly, the last of the 5 senses is touch. And, a couple of things I do. One is that if I want to use touch to connect is, our third eye is here. This is our spiritual center. Our spiritual eye is like supposed to be around this area. And so I just touch it or tap it just to bring my awareness to it, bring my focus to it. And in doing that, purposely connecting to the higher realm. I know a friend of mine was practicing, he was becoming a masseuse, or I forget what the correct name for it is suddenly. So my apologies. I know it's called something different. But at the end, he did this oil treatment where he was dropping oil on my third eye, and it was like this tapping that went there. I was just like in another place, and it did take me to another place. In fact, he had to go, Danny, are you okay? Because my breathing got so shallow, he couldn't tell if I was alive or not. And so sometimes, again, that touch can happen there. That touch can happen there. And also, if you want to get any kind of Reiki or any touch, even, getting a massage, those types of things, you can make those also, depending on, specifically choosing someone that you have this connection with that has this love energy. That can also be that, of course. But the other thing that I do is, like, I will, and this kind of comes down to the 2 of Cups in tarot. There's one of my favorite decks. I think it's the Light Seers Tarot, but one of my favorite cards is it has a bowl and it has 2 hands that are full of magic, and they're hand in hand. And that is our human self, the human character, with the higher self, joining hand in hand. So sometimes, even while I'm going to sleep, I'll just hold my hand like this and just feel the presence of my higher self as I'm purposely having this connection. So this physical action is representing this human or this spiritual connection between the human and the spirit. So all these things can be combined together. And we're going to, in the next episodes, we're just going to continue to share things on how we can improve and increase that connection to the spiritual realm. Because the more tools you have in your toolbox, because like all of us, we get bored with doing things. We're like, oh, it's good for a while, but I need something else. So definitely, if any of you have any other things that you do to help you connect to the spiritual realm, share it in the comments below, because I love this, community on YouTube where everyone is sharing so many things, and it's free. And I love that we're just so from our hearts, just so giving, and people want to share what's working for them. And it doesn't mean that you have to do it. These are all just ideas that you can grasp a piece from. It's like a smorgasbord, right? It's a buffet. You can just take, oh, I like that piece, but then the rest of that doesn't resonate. Oh, and the other person commented on that. I like that piece. You know, you can create your own. Because I find for myself, when I read stuff of like, yeah, this is what they're saying you're supposed to do or should do or need to do, that turns me off like that, because I'm like, I have enough rules in my life. I don't want to be told how to do my spiritualness too. So all of this is just ideas. Take whatever resonates with you. Share other things, because we can always use this combination of things, and create your own ingredients. Create your own beautiful spiritual soup. All right, well, like I said, next episode, we're going to continue talking about what else we can do to ignite this connection with the spiritual realm. And in the meantime, I do want to let you know, in addition to these videos, I do readings, tarot card readings for each of the zodiac signs for each month. Also weekly, I do energy updates for each of the elements, like fire signs, water signs. I do new moon, full moon readings, and some other videos as well. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click the like button, and then click the subscribe button, and then of course the notification bell. Doing all that, first of all, takes you to the settings so you can be notified immediately. But also, all of that makes the YouTube algorithm so happy that it is willing to share these videos with other people. So if you want to help share the love, you can do any of those items. And of course, I am just eternally grateful for any of those if you wish to do that. And there's never any pressure, of course. I enjoy doing these videos, and I love sharing the love. So just as you go throughout each and every second of every day of your life, please know that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing week, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. And until then, you take care. Welcome to episode 6 of You ×2, where we're on this adventure discovering the two of you that, I don't know, not two of you, the two of us, because it's us. It's us.